We're live.
A dinosaur story. I'm gonna keep doing that every time. Because it amuses me and only me.
Amuses me too.
Yay, excellent.
Doesn't make sense.
It does if you think of the universe in existing in a continuous flow of time in which we need to do that every time the stream turns on, which is what I'm doing right now.
Hate you all.
And because I'm in charge of this, I can do that.
It also sort of becomes just kind of a Dadaist
power.
Like, this is a thing that happens because it happens, not because it needs a reason to happen.
Exactly. But welcome everyone to Ballad of the Werewolf, which is a Werewolf the Apocalypse game that I'm running right here. My name is Mara, and I'm your storyteller for this evening. And joining me today is Julia.
Hi, I'm Julia of the Zodiac System, and I am playing Dapple, the Lupus Black Fury Galliard.
And Holly.
Hey, I'm Holly. I'm playing Juniper. She's something. Metis, Philodop, Stargazer.
There we go. And Shawnee, or William.
Hi, I am Shawnee, or William, and I'm playing Eileen Baird, also known as Smoke, the Hamid Shadow Lord Ragabash.
And Jeremy.
Hi, I'm Jeremy. I'm playing Lexus Lambros, who is a Black Fury kinfolk.
Yep.
Totally gonna
survive. Please. I looked at my NPC sheets. There will be discussions. It'll be good. It's gonna go fine. This is gonna go great, everyone. And just a reminder, everyone, Black Lives Matter, trans rights are human rights, and this is a game of horror. Horrible things will probably happen in this game. If there are too much horribleness for you in the current times, please go take care of yourself and pet a puppy. Don't pet these puppies. They are not puppies. They're werewolves. And they're pointy-teethed and hairy and it's prone to sort of fits of rage. Which is what this game is about. What?
You just described a chihuahua.
Yeah, this is also true, but they're bigger. So imagine a chihuahua that is sort of chest height, and be very afraid.
I don't have sharp teeth or rage, but I do have a gun. 2 guns.
There we go. The question is, what happens if you bring a gun to a werewolf fight? We'll find out.
You fire from range.
There we go.
And you let your trueborn engage them so they can't come get you.
Glad you have this wisdom. Please keep it in mind as today we meet back up with the Dark and Stormy pack as they have returned from a stunningly more eventful trip than planned, as the group lost one of its members to a combination explosion, one pup's first change, and hunter attack. All clustered together in a lethal combination, on the way to visit Dapple's family, upon a request from her mother, which Dapple was able to prove something to her mother and maybe herself, giving a eulogy at both a private funeral for the pack in the Umbra, which involved some combination of drugs, and a party in the grove at Dapple's family commune. That's what we're going to call that. And with the pack licking their wounds and being nudged gently but firmly by Alexis to get their shit together and talk to each other. the group was also nudged by Dapple's family to please bring him with, because we're worried about you, sweetie. We want to make sure you're okay out there in the big city. And with that agreed upon, the pack returned to London, and we're going to do a bit of, what is this? Why are you putting there we go. Thank you. Yes. I have to look when you post things in there. It derails my train of thought.
Sorry.
Don't be. This is how you can, make sure that I forget something that I just said. It's a strategy. So you have returned to London and now have a few weeks to prepare, if you want to, for the arrival, return, unexpected visit. All of these are accurate, I think. Of Juniper's former alpha, who is a bit of a dick.
And will apparently be arriving in town to perform some kind of public,
Yeah.
like,
there was some
sermon or
discussion
whatever.
headed by the sadly deceased Aoife about, hey, maybe we should do something about this, and it was taken up by other members of the pack who are presumably going to carry on with that mission.
That is indeed the plan.
All right. Speaking of, what planning is happening in advance? As you do have several weeks, you had started asking around, leaning on like your contacts in the sept smoke to find out that Matthias, what's his name? Hang on.
Is
Yeah,
kind
Matthias
of an
Dyson.
asshole that nobody really likes, but they just kind of tolerate him.
Yeah, because they're effective. He leads including him, a 7-member pack out in the suburbs north of the city, nearest to Hackney on this map. They've been in contact with like a group of bone gnawers out there who you've gotten most of your information from. They don't particularly like the guy, but he's a Silverfang, so the amount of things you can do officially are annoyingly limited for a bone gnawer.
Unofficially, however, we have several people in this pack that are either of the Black Furies or aligned with their ideals.
Yes.
So,
Yep. This is true. You could also make an official challenge. That is the thing. He is. You would know as well from this that they are all also Cleath. They are the same rank as you.
Mhm.
So challenge is another
That's
thing
important. That's helpful.
It is. It's not like you're dealing with some elders.
no, they're just a bunch of assholes.
Mm-hmm. So what do we
And there are
see
more of them than there are of
montaged
us.
as this time goes by? Let's start with Eileen, I think.
Yeah, I think Eileen, as she does best, is working the mortal connection, and is going to try and see what kind of reputation, like, he's doing like a presentation at a library, like
Yes.
that requires an amount of foothold with the people who run the library, who are presumably mortals. So
Yes.
she's going to try, because she's already found out how much of an asshole he is from the werewolves. She
Mhm.
wants to know what his story is as far as the mortals are concerned.
Okay.
And find out what kind of planning she can make on that front.
Excellent. That is going to be for me a charisma and
Streetwise?
etiquette. No, etiquette. This is etiquette. These are fancy people.
Fair enough.
Diff 6.
I will put a willpower into this if I can.
Okay. Oh yeah. Your willpower has reset for everyone because this is happening over a period of time. You're going to have lots of time to sleep and refresh things. 2 successes.
3 with the willpower.
Ooh, 3 with the willpower. Okay. You ask around. It's pretty easy for you to do. You have to join the library to ask a lot of questions.
That's
Which
fine.
it's
She could
a
use the library
small
pass.
fee for you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She could
it's
use the library
designed
pass.
to keep the riffraff out. It's not gonna stop you.
I have all the money.
Exactly. And as you ask around, he's kind of known for coming up with weird kind of showy theories, and is a little bit of like he'd been described as a little bit of a troll. He basically, the style of his lectures is to cause a bit of friendly, quote unquote, healthy disagreement.
He's a Justin Crowder style.
Yeah.
That particular kind of asshole.
Mhm.
I have this opinion. Prove me wrong.
But he has credentials, and like looking into that side of thing, which isn't Eileen's forte so much. I don't think. He does have a degree from Oxford. He has like he is someone of like mortal importance, as well as he's more important in like the mortal realm than he is in
werewolves.
the
Than he is to
Guru
werewolves, yeah.
Guru Society. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
She's got a sting as a silver fang.
yeah. You have
She
to
puts
ask him
that-
how
she
he feels about it.
Yeah, she puts that in her back pocket as something she can nettle this guy with.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, he's gonna be arriving for this thing. You know, he usually like he's got folks who travel. None of his asking around, like none of his other pack members seem particularly involved with this, but like he is known to travel with like some other folks that they're assumed to be like basically his underlings is how they present themselves as a pack. Like he is, you know, in charge of like excavations and doing research, and they're just there to like support him, kind of thing. And so they will probably be in attendance at this event. So you are not at the thing at the library, like you're not going to be just dealing with him if a confrontation breaks out there.
What does he have a topic already established for this display that he's going to be putting on?
Yes. Yeah. He is going to be talking about the stratigraphy. Recently uncovered there have been new like ductworks expanded, not in London. It's south. But he's going to be talking about basically some new kind of like digs out there. And if you ask around on the Guru side of things, which I assume you're doing for that, there were some minor Bane disturbances actually that they were involved with fighting. So they do have like the sense that you got from the Bonars that like they're like socially kind of assholes, but mildly effective, does seem to be backed up by this.
Mm-hmm.
So they aren't nobody.
Good to know. Good to know.
But,
and she will pass all this information along to the rest of the pack because she's pretty certain that if anyone's going to have good fuck this up plans, it's going to be Dapple and the Black Furies.
Mm-hmm. Let's pivot to that side of things.
Well, first things first, where am I staying?
This is a good question.
You'll be staying at the Black Fury Sept with Dapple.
Okay.
There you go.
Most likely. Unless you have the means and resources with which to obtain housing.
Do you have resources?
I do have resources. Like, I could find a place, but I assume that will also, I have resources of one, but it's still resources.
Yeah, that's
It's
enough to
still
get you like a small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I assume that also takes time too.
Correct.
Like
You can easily stay, with Daffel in the Black Fury sept, or Eileen can find you a place if need be. Again,
Is Eileen gonna offer that?
if it is requested, she will be glad to. She's not immediately offering it because she's just kind of assuming that you'll stay with the Black Furies.
I mean,
But like, if you're like,
yes.
hey, is anyone know of a place I can get? That she'll be like, yeah, I can get you.
At very least at the first, yes. The sept is totally fine.
Juniper
Okay.
would offer if he needs to stay. She has a couch.
I will keep that in mind in case I piss off one of the Furies.
Whatever your name is.
It's William.
Uh-huh.
There you
So
go.
yeah, anyways, that being resolved.
Yeah. They are able to find a room for you in the sept. It's getting crowded in there. There's more and more people just sort of like that's very loud.
That is something that I was
Yeah.
potentially concerned about. There do seem to be a lot of Furies in London.
Yes. Yeah.
So we might have to move at some point.
You get like one of those weird attic rooms where like the roof is slanted.
I need a room somewhere.
All right.
Okay.
I'm an active person. That ain't gonna work.
Yeah.
I can get you a place if you need one.
Yes,
what kind of room are you looking for?
I don't need a lot of space, just some. Whatever you can find, Rhea.
I have what the mortals tend to refer to as old money. So
okay.
I can find places.
I'm not used to knowing people with old money. I'm from America. There is no such thing.
Yeah.
There's people who think that they have old money. They don't have old money.
Buying a building of reasonable size for someone who only needs it for practical purposes is
just buy a building.
Please do not buy me a
drop in the
building.
bucket.
I don't even know what I would do. No. If you buy me a building, Rhea, it's going to become a Black Fury building. It's going to become overflow for the sept.
That, legitimately speaking, if you get Dapple to have a place on her own and actually try and figure out how to live life, that might be worthwhile.
Oh, I will. Wherever Alexis ends up staying, beyond the sept, he is 100% going to try to get Dapple to stay with.
All right, kill two birds with one stone. Let's find a place.
All right,
for many reasons.
She's gonna play this in like her positional advantage game as best she can.
Mhm.
She always whenever she's buying someone a house, she's gonna try and find a spot that is somewhere where she can take advantage of the location. So
also politically, if you support the Black Furies in their attempt to establish a stronger fold in the city, that is politics.
Oh yeah, that is good for you.
That is playing some politics.
She's gonna try and find a house that's in a nice place, but not like upper class where people are gonna look at Dapple funny.
Okay, yeah.
And where it is conveniently positioned to advance her game as a black market dealer. Because it's nice to have a place that she can stop by when she has to make deals around town.
Yeah. Do I remember which way the river flows? No, I do not. I'm gonna guess. This is a bad idea. You don't have any place in like Woolwich. That's and that's like further. I believe that's the direction it flows. Hang on, let me double check.
The Thames flows east and southeast.
East. Yeah. So it'd be flowing down.
Thames?
Yeah, Thames. so like getting, because you have like your oh goodness, what was her name? Your contact, kind of who is involved with kind of some shipping and a little bit of smuggling stuff. You don't have direct line into that, and so having something like on the edge of the city, kind of keeping an eye on like things.
Yeah, and Woolwich
coming
is
in.
like a nicer region, but it's
Yeah.
also got space for
Uh-huh.
both the lupus and the active person.
Yes,
So-
absolutely.
That'd be a good spot, both
Mhm.
practically for Eileen and practically for her packmates.
Yep.
So yeah, she'll find a nice place in Woolwich.
Okay,
All right.
perfect.
It's bigger than you were expecting,
That's fine.
just by default, I assume.
Yeah, 100%. Like Alexis has lived on his own before.
Mhm.
Mostly when he first came here in Liverpool and probably in New York when he moved away from his parents' place. But it's always been very small places because he doesn't need much more than that. Like,
Yeah.
what does he need? But now, yeah. So yeah, it will. Dapple will 100% be poked and prodded that you should come stay here. It will be for a few reasons. One, the more you hang out in our tribe set, the harder it is for you to get established as knowing how to operate within an urban environment. Two, I should probably not be living by myself in case an angry werewolf or worm creature decides to bust through the front door. And three, I'm supposed to be keeping an eye on you, and so something happens, and I'm at my place, and you're somewhere else. I'm gonna get my ass kicked.
Also, it's harder for your mother's contacts to hear everything that you're doing if you're not literally staying in the place they all live.
Also,
This is
that
true.
he won't say that part.
Not impossible, but harder.
Not impossible, but harder.
I think Dapple would resist exactly one conversation. Like the second time you brought this up, she would probably fold like a cheap suit.
Yep. Oh, this will not be. Yeah. No, he is. He will bring it up more than once.
Because the overconfident flaw, she's like, no, I'm fine just staying at the Sept. I don't need anybody's help. I know what I'm doing. I'm good here. And the second one, no, this is probably what's for the best.
Wait to do the second one after some minor little kerfuffle happens.
You no longer wish to live at the Sept? Why? Someone ate my breakfast. Ah, I see. and thus the Sept must be burnt to the ground.
Yep.
So that's the housing thing.
You
solved.
left it and you went for a run, and it was 3 hours later, and you came back and wanted to finish. It was not. This is not how it operates.
The principle of the matter.
Yeah.
That's the housing situation sorted.
Yep. Yes.
What about the rest of the activity?
Yep. Juniper, what are you up to?
Okay, first of all, does Juniper know the plan on her old outfit? Like, is this common knowledge to her?
That's a question for the rest of the group. The Wolfric had had the discussion with you about like, hey, are you sure you don't want to do anything about this? And I think the needle was like pushed slightly more toward like, okay, maybe something.
The way I feel that ended was Juniper understands if the other members of the pack want to go after this person,
Got it.
but she still has mixed feelings on it.
Okay.
I know Ava definitely did not, after the first conversation, did not bring it back up to
No,
Juniper.
absolutely
just
not.
immediately went and told Eileen, this is what we need to do.
So I think it's fair to assume, in the absence of anything else, that plans have happened. Some planning has happened before any thought of.
So does
discussion with
Juniper know
Juniper.
any? Yeah, so she doesn't know any of this going on currently.
Not unless somebody else is saying it, and if Alexis is brought into the know, he's sure as hell not saying anything
Yeah,
about
that's also a thing, is that Alexis does not know.
Who?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay.
Steven.
Oh, him.
Just give her a different name every time.
Different name every time the
knows.
question of who
No,
is asked.
She knows at this point. She's
Yes.
just giving him a hard time.
And that's how you flip shit back.
But yeah, I think
And Abraham, Rhea.
I think Eileen isn't hiding it, but she's not bringing it up, if that makes any sense. Like she will actively be making plans and going about work, and Juniper might pick up based on the fact that this is kind of what she's been working on. But that requires her to pay attention to what Eileen is doing at all times. So, but she's not just going to outright say it. So if Juniper picks up on that, then she might figure it out. But Eileen is not going to outright say it at the moment, but she's also not hiding it.
So I think when they get back, what
Mhm.
Juniper is concentrating on is she's taking over Afa's store.
Okay. Wonderful.
Nice.
All right.
She didn't have a job anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And
This
Ava
is true.
said that she would come work at the store. So
Excellent. Okay. First question. Does Juniper know anything about the occult?
let me check.
You have any dots in a cult?
I think I do. Oh,
Okay.
yes, I have two.
Okay. Yes, you have you and Afa have like where you had hung out at the store of Fairbeck and we're picking things up. So on that side of things, it is fine. I am gonna have you make an intelligence, and let me see here.
Juniper does know, by the way, that the line that she always gives about items being cursed and they are uncursed after the point of purchase, that is absolutely a lie, because she would not allow any cursed items to be out where somebody dumb can steal them.
Yeah.
The cursed items that she might briefly be in contact with are all kept in the back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. That would be an intelligence, and I think I'm going to call this streetwise for like, can you run a shop? How much money do you lose?
I have no streetwise.
Okay. Do you have academics? That's the other thing
I do have academics.
Okay, I'll let you give an intelligence
Thank you.
academics for doing accounting. Difficulty is 7. This is your first time. You worked in the library before. That's very different. Just to see, hey,
1.
you think you're doing pretty good. The balance sheet goes into the red, and then it goes slightly green, and then it goes red again. But like, that's about where Ava had it.
Yeah.
So it seems pretty accurate.
Although in Afa's case, that was because she wasn't running the damn
Yeah,
business.
that's because she'd be gone for 2 weeks and leave leave something significant running.
The shop is probably open more than it has been in quite some time. So people are kind of excited about that.
You've got black market bankrolling. It's fine.
There we go.
Also that, like, when you have no overhead because you don't have employees that you pay.
Yep. And it's you're keeping, this thing that Aoife cared for going. It's still this could still be the like meeting place for the pack because it's still open.
I do love the Dark and Stormy meeting in a occult bookshop.
Yeah.
Yep.
Or it's a cult trinket shop.
Yeah, that's probably mostly what she's concentrating on. She's probably
Okay.
really
Yeah,
focusing
that you
on,
I
on
don't think
that.
you notice because like the stuff that Eileen is doing to find out this information is like not in view.
Right.
And you're busy.
Yeah. I have
Okay.
a store.
Yeah. So back to our Black Furies.
Mhm.
You've settled in, got a new place. It's
Yep.
very exciting.
What do you do with the information that Eileen gets you? What's the plan as far as fucking things up goes?
Well, first I go, sorry, the plan for what? What are we using this information for?
Right, you were never filled in on this, Val, because you're relatively new.
What if I'm only relatively new? What's new? Is there somebody
What's the
else
turnover rate
coming
on
that
this
I don't
group?
know about yet? Or Shawnee, are you talking about my future character who's going to show up at some point in the session?
In this session.
Eileen's like, look, we've been through 2 alphas and like 3 pack mates.
This is true.
so-
This is very true.
That's a fair point.
It's been like 4 months total.
So, to summarize, Juniper's former pack are a bunch of raging assholes and bigots and misogynists and aren't worth the fucking shit under my shoe.
All right.
And they're coming to town. And the important part, the reason why we even bothered dealing with this, is there's a greater than 0 chance, haven't proven anything, but the wind blows the right way, that this fucking asshole was at least partially responsible for Juniper getting fired from her last job, because it happened to be at the library where he's about to be giving a presentation, and he likes to fuck over things that don't go his way because he's a silver fang like that.
That tracks for Silver Fangs. All right,
So-
what information do we have?
And she'll lay out what she's learned about him from the other Seps and what she learned about him in her working with the mundane. The general goal is to make his life a living hell and offer a little bit of earned humiliation for the problems that he's caused our girl.
How much?
How much damage do you want us to do?
I want him to look like the bad guy coming out of it.
I know most of the women's groups in London. I can spread some words through.
I don't want any of us to seem like the malicious ones. I want him to seem like the villain here, to all involved.
Well, I can say from experience, weirdly not with Silver Fangs. I never had any problems with them back home.
He is an Arun. That should make things easy.
All right. But experience tells me that if he treats other Guru like shit, he treats his kinfolk like shit too.
Odds are greater than even, yes.
I'm going to go make friends with the Silverfang kinfolk.
Good plan.
And
See what stories they have. Try and subtly twist the knife a little bit, because if he loses the support of his kinfolk, those kinfolk will talk to other Trueborn in his tribe. And that will
And-
start to make him look worse among them.
I can do some work on the mundane side, talk to some of the women's groups, and I can have my sister spread some nasty little gossip around.
I am going to see what I can learn about this topic that he's so eager to talk about, and see how good of a heckler I can be.
What are we looking at on probability this will come to blows?
I mean, he's an Arun. I think he'll want it to come to blows.
All right, then I need to go back to the sept. I have to make some arrows.
You
Actually-
also know that he's got another Arun in his pack. He's got a Theurge. He's got a group of triplet Galliards, and the newest member is a Philodox. That's the layout of the
7 wolf pack.
yeah.
This lecture he's giving, or whatever the fuck it is this an open to everyone?
I think it's open to library members.
Yeah, this is a scientific library, like a like not as big and important as the Royal Society, but like in that vein, basically. It's a like geological survey library.
So open to humans is what I'm
Yes.
saying.
Yeah, open to humans.
How
if you can present yourself as in that class and have the money to join, you are going to be able to get in.
how much risk do you want to take on this?
I want to be on the up and up. At least
Mhm.
I want to look that way, is what I'm saying. If he decides he wants to start shit, on his head be it. And if he's going to issue the challenge, he's going to be the one issuing the challenge.
I'm less
We're
thinking
gonna be
about
picking the defense.
I'm less thinking about challenge, and I'm more thinking about that would be a really bad place to break the veil.
Oh, it would be. None of us are going to do that, but if he does it, well,
Absolutely not. But if we can figure out how to make him do it, there's a really easy way that is probably a bad idea because,
let's try
murder
not
of humans
to
is bad.
let's try not to bring civilian casualties into it.
Exactly.
This
I
man needs to
suppose
get
if
his
we're going to be
comeuppance.
boring about it.
Nobody else needs to be caught in the crossfire.
Right. It is, in fairness, if his pack is there, hopefully they can stop him.
They should be able to, yes. If they don't,
Then
even
they're
more shame on
incompetent
them.
too.
There are six of them.
If the 6 of them can't get him calmed down, then we're running, right? That's
Yeah.
the plan. Okay.
Yeah, we'll fucking book it.
What are the surrounding towns we can hide in?
She'll lay out the area of the city that it is, and I'm sure that she knows some good places.
Yeah, you've figured out some bullet holes. It feels part of the crime lord thing, knowing where you can
Knowing
lay
where you
low
can
for a little bit.
duck into
Yeah.
an alley and disappear.
From
Right.
the mundane side at least. Guru, it's a little bit harder. You're pretty sure that wherever you go, like nearish the city, a Shadow Lord is going to be able to find you.
Oh yeah,
But
but that's kind of what we do.
yeah.
So I will go hang out with the kinfolk of how many septs are there? There's the Fury. Is the Fury sept actually a sept or
It is not a sept.
okay? It's like just a gathering spot.
There is a sept outside of the city.
Got it.
This is like the nearest satellite
Yeah.
to that. Yeah. It does not have a
So-
cairn.
I will start visiting because the sept is Silverfang, Fiena, ruled,
The-
if I remember that correctly.
Yeah, yeah.
I will start visiting the sept, getting to know. I should be doing it anyways. I'm a new
Mhm.
kinfolk in town.
Yep.
Getting to know all the kinfolk, and I will find out everything the kinfolk know.
Yeah.
About this guy, including, if he's an Arun and he's the angry kind and he treats people like shit, well, what should I do to avoid pissing him off?
Mhm.
And then we apply the reverse.
Yeah. All right. I will say you will have to, because the Black Furies in the city already know who you are and like that you're
Right.
connected to the pack. You will have to disclose that to get this.
Oh, of
in.
course.
Okay, I figured.
Of course.
I
would
just
not.
wanted to make sure.
Because we're going to have to think beyond this one fucking over this one silver
yeah.
thing. And I am staying here beyond that, assuming I survive.
Yeah, so like,
Congrats on your
the fact that you're
long-term
tied to the Dark and Stormy is fine, and as far as
Yeah.
anyone knows, the Dark and Stormy has no machinations upon anyone in particular right now.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And even if we did have machinations on one person in particular, that's one werewolf for the the fate of London. People are more worried about everything else going on in the city than that.
Yep.
Yep.
And if this silver thing cannot handle a motley assortion of largely outcast guru and a kinfolk, then that's on him.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. For kind of asking around and finding out what you're trying to find out,
Mhm.
that is going to be a charisma and either etiquette or streetwise. I think both of those could apply. Your
I will do etiquette. I'm assuming good old boy merit applies.
yes. Yeah.
Does will pure breed apply to this?
Not for this.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah, it's you're asking around Silverfangs.
Yep.
It's a
No,
Black Fury.
fair enough.
Yep.
Maybe another tribe, but I'm still fuckable.
Actually, you know
I was
what?
gonna say, Silverfangs care
would.
about pure breed more than most.
Yeah, I'm gonna retract that because like it would still like yeah. It will apply as well.
Okay.
Yeah. Diff.
+1 for
I'm gonna
Gaul.
make this a diff 7 because you're trying to kind of keep this
Legit.
not super obvious.
And I'm guessing no, but I will ask anyways. Specialty, charisma, calming presence.
Yeah, actually
Okay.
would.
Okay.
Let's let all the things apply. This is great. Beautiful.
That is 9 successes.
Excellent.
Did I tell you that I created a social character?
Excellent, beautiful, wonderful. All right, you begin.
I know
gently
everything about this mother.
asking around, and you find out quite a lot. Yes. So, you are able to confirm everything that Smoke has already told you.
Mm-hmm.
He is so. You find out about his family. He has. It's. I don't know how much. I don't think you know. Well, that's a question for when he's here to tell you about the character. But was is from a is like distant relations with the Silverfangs in the city. Like he's like a nephew of someone who is kind of in the ruling structure of the city.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
He's a Nepo Wolfie.
Exactly. And all of the kinfolk around have been warned about him. Like, just don't be alone with him. Just don't he's gonna ask you to do shit, like, and say it's got a great mission and it's very important to the Guru Nation, and you need to do this for him because he's asking you to. And then it'll be not anything overtly like dangerous or anything that anyone can point out as like, we need to like discipline this guy and deal with this situation.
Right.
It's just pointless, tedious tasks that don't actually do anything and don't end up being important. It's just like someone pushing people around because he can. The inner workings of the pack you have trouble figuring out, but with 9 successes, you do eventually worm your way in. So he's got these, you find out the names of all of the people in his pack as well. So the Theurge, his name is Oliver. He goes by the deed name Mercury. It's a Hamid Theurge, Iron Rider, as far as tribe. The 3 Galliards in his pack are known collectively as the Furies, and that's the only thing anyone refers to them by. And then he's got relatively new and relatively unknown. There is a Metis in his pack named Elizabeth. She is older, and there are whispers that she is a Red Talon. She's the Arun, and her deed name is Haze Over Stars. And then the youngest one in his pack, this is a point of contention. This is like a political tension thing. He has a Fienna in his pack, which the Fienna and the Silver Fang are very much at odds in the city, and you can pick up on this very easily once you start talking to people. Because the Silver Fangs want to be able to tell the Fienna what to do, and the Fienna don't want to do that because no, absolutely not. And so there was an out kind of, they've done most of their work outside of the city of London. Like, they've been slowly, this pack has been slowly moving closer and closer to London and being able to like be welcomed properly as part of the Sept and like publicly recognized.
Right.
After Juniper fled, you find out that Juniper ran away from this pack. Like, there were rumors about this, and she just vanished fairly effectively, it sounds like. This boy named Connor, who is a Philodox Hamid, was brought in. And the general sense of that you get from how they treat the youngest members of their pack, sort of universally, including Dapple, including Juniper. I keep mixing up your characters, and I don't know why. You're like right on top of each other in my screen, and it's not helping. Damn it. Okay. They tend to make them do the dirty work and like the things no one else wants to do, like go scout and deal with going into dangerous situations and take the blame for trouble and things like that. So he is not doing great. And not a people who have tried to like talk to the kid and sort of like let him know, hey, you've got other options, or hey, these are the rumors and things, have not been able to reach him.
Okay.
Because they're doing the classic thing of let's isolate the kid.
And do we know what tribe the 3 Galliards are?
Yes, they are Geta Fenris.
So what we're saying is there's 3 Geta Fenris who have appropriated a Black Fury motif. for their
Uh-huh.
bullshit.
Yeah.
I was like, because the Black Furies are the tribe that is most Greek associated.
The
Mhm.
Furies are explicitly
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
yep.
Yep. The Furies are also do not have political power in this city. Like they have clawed their way into this a little handhold where you stayed very briefly and where Dapple has been living.
Mhm.
And they don't have the standing to deal with that and are frankly dealing with other stuff happening.
But I'm sure they won't mind us putting
No.
the screws to this particular group.
Mhm.
And I'm sorry, I know it's been said, but I had it.
Yeah.
Matthias, right?
Yes.
That's him.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
The Silver Fang is Matthias.
Yeah.
Yes.
And he has the stereotypical villain mustache. If I recall
Yes, he
correctly.
does. He has a villain mustache.
So I will relay all of this information. Do the kinfolk know, like, beyond don't be alone with him, which that is a hell of a statement.
Oh yeah.
Do they know, like, if you do end up around him, what you're not what pisses him off? What are you supposed to avoid doing?
Yeah. So
is it just everything?
It is mostly like he wants to be the one in charge. Like he wants to be the like prototypical like alpha.
No,
and
do not imply that there is anyone around who might have more authority than him.
Mm-hmm. The thing that those Geta Fenris galleots are doing is like a little bit of like trying to steer the ship. It sounds like there is like you get a little bit of that sense of so the cracks in this pack are the Theurge kind of goes along with what he wants to do and like his directions is the general sense. He is mostly their Theurge, the Iron Rider, is mostly interested in, hey, what can I do with like magic and pushing like his own experimentation type of thing. So he tends to go along with things. The Geta Fenris triplets push back, but like in subtle ways. They're fairly skilled at it apparently. The Metis and him have a tense truce, which occasionally breaks out into violence. She does not seem to care if the violence has repercussions. And Connor gets roped into dealing with that. And like
Connor is the new poor abused
down.
Juniper.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, basically.
So, all right, that's all good to know.
Some internal fault lines happening there.
Yep. I will relay all of that to Apple and Eileen. So he's a control freak. So if we can make anything during his presentation start to go wrong, that'll start to put him on edge.
The other thing you kind of get is he's not super well known for like being a hit. The other Arun in the group is much more known for like having that hair trigger of going into a rage a lot faster.
Right.
He's more controlled. But he is more likely to be the one to like formal challenge and like go through use the structures of like I am a Silver Fang and there's backing for if I if you fuck with me then challenge or some other type of like using the Guru societal structures to push back on that. So
Silver Fang is what he does.
Fairly savvy about that.
No, for sure. it's more like if things start getting. I'm not saying like they serve the wrong drinks beyond what he ordered, and bam, he's gonna frenzy.
Yes.
But we start doing little things that just start to go wrong in ways that are noticeable to those attending the lecture
Mm-hmm.
that he has no control over fixing in those moments. That will probably start to make him get edgy, and
Yeah.
the edgier he gets, the more likely he is to make a mistake. Another possibility would be bait one of his pack members who are there.
Yep.
Because if his pack members lose control, that looks bad on him.
Oh yeah. The other thing I will say is that in all of your questioning and discussion, you don't get a sense that Juniper's eviction was a plan or like on purpose. Like that seems to be pure unlucky coincidence for him, honestly.
For him.
Because he's now on a trajectory.
So I understand Juniper is not necessarily down with it. Can we get her? No, I'm kidding. I'm half kidding. I'm 60% kidding.
The eviction was unlucky planning. Was her losing her job something that he gets a sense
Yes.
was planned?
Yeah, it that just seems to be like her like she didn't show up, and if you don't, she was living like just in a regular apartment and paying rent, and you don't show up for a couple months and stop, like don't respond, no rent's coming in, you're gonna get evicted.
Yeah.
It just happens.
It's fine. He's done plenty enough that warrants this.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So yeah, that's what I found, and those are my thoughts.
Also say with the success of your inroads already, you're going to have an easier time spreading anything you want to spread ahead of time.
Yeah, and I am doing this in a
Rumors.
way that is also, I am making friends in this set and getting known in this set.
Absolutely.
Because that will help y'all.
Meanwhile, Dapple, you were going to get in contact with some Furies.
Yes.
What are you asking them to do?
I think the first thing she would ask them to do is find out and air out any of his dirty laundry. Considering any past relationships or friendships that could be passed around through both the mortal, the human and the werewolf sphere.
Okay, excellent.
Because a fun fact, if you can discredit a man's purity in Victorian England, you can pretty much ruin his reputation. So any dirt we can find on that, and she's also wanting to see if she can figure out somebody who can teach her how to make some arrows.
Excellent.
Like she knows that she can get regular ones here probably, but like she also knows
if you just need generic arrows, Eileen can find you arrows.
Right, but she wants Bane arrows or silver tipped arrows.
Yeah. Eileen might be able to help with silver as well. That's kind of her big thing, is trying to track silver movement.
Okay. For the rumors and reputation smearing, that is gonna be because they're gonna rope you in to help with this. Give me a you're not just gathering information, you're trying to tweak things now, so that's going to be manipulation etiquette.
Okay.
Diff 6.
2 successes.
Getting help. Okay. You begin. So he has had a string of relationships. They have not ended super well. Nothing directly connected to the Black Furies, but as you feed them more and more information gathered from, the pack
hmm
working together, they get more and more annoyed at him. So they are eager to help. The You're having more luck with this on the mortal side of things. The You bring up a couple of he was engaged at one point. It got broken off.
That's a
And
bad thing for a Victorian.
yeah. And you get her invited to the opening.
Oh
Her name-
no!
Her name is Amanda.
Amanda's gonna be our new best friend.
Yep.
She is a kinfolk.
Ooh.
Yep.
To be fair, I would hope she was a kinfolk.
Yeah.
Actually,
She's a
no,
kinfolk
we're
who
trying
is
to...
in the know.
Okay, yeah, okay,
That's
fair.
what I meant. Yeah.
She's not a kinfolk who is unaware.
Yes.
For the purposes of our information, I actually wish she wasn't a kinfolk.
Fantastic.
Eileen's also gonna look into a little bit of like how well does a guru this controlling and this aggressive, and Arun in particular, manage to stick through college for long enough to get a degree? She's
Okay.
gonna see how legitimate that degree is.
Excellent. I'm gonna get
Ooh,
back
that's
to
a great
that.
angle.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back to that. You're also trying to find arrows.
Yes.
So for the silver arrows, at this point, they're going to give you a lecture on using them responsibly. These are very dangerous. Don't step on them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And are able to procure you. You've got a fair bit of time, and they can put both, like, them and Eileen, like, working together would be able to pull you enough to get 5 silver arrows made in time for this. And then for Bane arrows, because that's a theurge work to get those made. Where is that section again? Not fetishes, but
Talons, I think, is what you're looking for.
Talons. Where are talons again?
Talons are the cheaper,
There it is.
expendable version.
Yes. Bane arrows. Okay. They need to the local theurge is going to need to pull in and bind spirits of war, air, or pain. And there is a fair amount of pain happening. So this theurge, who is an older woman, you haven't talked with her a whole lot. Kind of not being, she's generally more busy, like helping the young theurges in the city, kind of helping them find and expand their knowledge. But with you asking and knowing the importance of the task, she will make time for you, and will bring you into some of the cedar parts of the city again. In your 2-month absence, there was another crackdown on some of the Irish enclaves in the city because people are shitty. And the government of London wanted to make an example. And so there are some kind of wrecked buildings. You pass through kind of these shells of empty windows and missing roofs. And then she steps sideways into the Umbra and brings you with, and begins binding spirits that hiss and sizzle like angry, kind of like hot metal meeting water. And will hand you as many as you can handle. This is going to be a gnosis roll. I believe, do you have to do this when you attune?
Talons
No,
don't
it's a
require
gnosis
attunement,
roll
they just
to
require roll
activate, not to attune, not for talents. All right. I'm gonna see how many she can draw though, because she's gotta call these.
Yes. Rite of binding. Every extra success beyond the first makes an extra instance of the Talon.
Okay, can you give me the roll that I'm making here?
1 second, let me find the right.
Thank you.
Rite of binding.
I'm gonna pull just this guy's. He is not the one actually binding these, but this is the sheet for a Theurge, so.
Rite of binding, right binds this bit, Guru can attempt this right only in the presence of a spirit, usually form of the Umbra. Guru must first spend a number of Gnosis points. Each point of Gnosis spent reduces the spirit's Gnosis rating by 1. The Guru's player then rolls willpower. Difficulty equals the spirit's adjusted Gnosis. The number of successes indicates how long the spirit may force into service. In the case of a Talon, the spirit is bound until the object is used. So yeah, it'll be their willpower versus the spirit's Gnosis. The person doing the roll can spend their own Gnosis to basically reduce the difficulty.
Okay.
And one success will make a Talon. Every success more than that will make an extra Talon.
Okay. These are pretty small spirits in here. All right.
And yeah, if it small spirits will usually only make 1 Talon. Very powerful spirits will usually add 2 or 3 extra Talons to the total number generated. But we're working with small spirits, so that doesn't matter.
Yeah, she's going for small spirits. Okay, so it's gonna be a willpower roll and oh goodness. She's not gonna be able to spend too much Gnosis on this because she is busy doing with other projects, but she is willing to make the attempt. So willpower roll, and then
a Talon's Gnosis rating is equal to the bound spirit's Gnosis, so on average, this kind of spirit you would use for a Bane Arrow has a Gnosis of 4.
Okay, so 4. Sit, difficulty 4. Oops, wrong button. Let's try that again. 4. Hey, very successful. Look at her. She's good at this.
Made 5 Bane Arrows.
Yeah, you are gifted 5 Bane Arrows.
Thank you, Rhea.
Use them wisely.
Shall.
And we'll lead you back. Meanwhile, Eileen is making some inquiries into the college.
How did a werewolf make it through Oxford?
Exactly. It's you remember your schooling, and there were some rough moments in there. You sort of fled, honestly.
Yeah, I kind of had to give up on school because being a werewolf in school is very difficult.
All right, you're making some inquiries. We'll do this again. Charisma and etiquette, streetwise. Whichever one of those is better for you.
I'm better at Streetwise. So.
All right.
Streetwise difficulty.
Difficulty. Streetwise isn't super good for getting academic kind of stuff, so I'm gonna say diff 7. It's a little bit higher.
What would be the diff if I was using etiquette? Because it's only a
6.
1 die difference. Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll go. With
Go for it. Yeah. It's probably better.
And I will spend another willpower on this if possible.
Alrighty.
3 successes.
3 successes. Okay. You ask around. And he is over selling his credentials. He did start school. He did not finish it.
Okay. He started attending Oxford, never finished his courses.
Uh-huh. But Eileen, as you're kind of asking around, you come back to your house, to your abode one evening after sort of some of these inquiries that you have been making. And there's a woman in a dark jacket, dark pantaloons.
Someone dressed like I do.
Yeah. With clearly concealed weaponry on her. She's got some sort of pistol or something. Not a shotgun. But some sort, like, at least 2 pistols. Sitting on, like, leaning against a lamppost next to your place as the carriage deposits you.
Eileen, noticing this, pointedly unslings the bag from around her shoulder and keeps it held in front of her in case she needs to retrieve something from it.
She's gonna hold up a letter. You can see there's a seal on it, like a wax seal.
Oh, you're not the usual person who sends me mail.
No, they don't pay super well. Just gonna hold it out to you.
You'll take it. Do I recognize the seal?
Yeah. That's their seal. It's the family seal. It's this family crest.
Did they really hire a bounty hunter to try and deliver this?
Private detective is the word I prefer.
Congratulations, you've been served.
Well, thank you for the delivery.
You're welcome.
Would you like some
She's
tea?
looking at you appraisingly.
She'll sort of indicate to the inside. Would you like some tea?
I'd love some. I am told that some people you meet with do sort of disappear partway through your interactions.
Please. You've got nothing to worry about. You seem like my kind of woman.
Are you lying to her?
Not at all.
Okay.
As long as she doesn't try anything or try and dig anything important up, she's under no threat.
Can you give me an appearance and expression?
Sure.
Diff 6.
Expression. One success.
One success. The eyebrow raises. You can see as she pushes off, a mark is made on the stone. Probably some sort of signal to an associate or something like that of like, I was here, and if I don't come back, I was here.
She'll nod, leave them inside, offer them, lunch, tea, biscuits, whatever.
Excellent. We'll get back to that in a second. Cause Juniper, you've been doing great at this running a shop thing. It's going well. You actually made money today.
Awesome. Yay.
Yeah. You've got enough for like lunch.
Cool.
The rest of the pack, you haven't seen them around in a little bit.
Oh, well.
By the way, you definitely don't have to worry about like picking up on the Apha's like bank accounts or anything like that, because she didn't do any of that. It was literally money in the mattress.
Yeah.
It's just a
Literally money in the
Great.
mattress.
Great.
pile of cash under the mattress.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, they're probably doing their own thing because, like, what's his name is new and
Mhm.
settling in and stuff. So yeah, she's gonna go get some lunch.
Okay.
Close the shop for lunch. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Close the shop, head out.
Yeah. She's feeling pretty good about herself.
You pass a couple of newspaper sellers, sort of hawking the daily papers. There's one in there about well, actually, do you pick up a newspaper? It wouldn't be on the front page.
She'll glance at them to see if there's like anything that would make her want to buy them.
Okay. Perception alertness. Diff 8.
Zero successes.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's some like, I don't know, boring kind of stuff, politics. There's something going on with like Britain may be trying to do some other war against some people who do not deserve it in a faraway country. They
That's just
are
a
often wanted-
Tuesday.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Same old, same old. The summer is coming. There is a fluff piece on new bonnet styles, etc.
Okay.
A little something on
Though, like thinking about, she'll pick up a paper just to have
Mhm.
something to read with lunch.
Okay. Yeah. You head to lunch.
forgot
What's
it.
lunch? What's Juniper's? You have this is like a celebration lunch, maybe, or like you've made money. It's
Just
exciting.
like a cafe, I think, like
Mhm.
something nicer.
Mm-hmm. Yep. You get the little sandwiches because the littler the sandwiches are, that means they're fancier.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you open the newspaper, and it's not on the first page. It's not on the second page. It's in the society columns.
Oh no.
And it is his name's right there. Rehash scandal. Eris reiterates that she was wronged. There is you. How long were you with the Shadows of the Moon? Do you think? Was it a long time?
Yeah, I think she was there for a bit.
Okay. So you remember this. You remember it was early in your tenure. So it was a little while ago. He is in his like early 40s now. And this was back like 20s sometime, and he was in his 20s. You would have been like 18 or something. Very young. And it broke off badly. There was a lot of yelling. And she is talking about the broken engagement and alleging that she found out he was cheating and that she broke it off, not him. He wasn't going to.
Okay, well, this is good or bad. I don't know. Okay, yeah. No, she'll read it a couple of times.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's a breathless style to the writing. The newspaper does not appear to be taking sides. They're mostly reveling in the gossip of rich people type of thing.
Okay.
As is typical of a newspaper, they
Exactly.
will blow literally anything into take a look at what happens in the world.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. A couple of victories today. All right, good.
There you go. All right. Meanwhile, she comes in for tea with you.
Yeah, she'll make like polite conversation, possibly casually flirt with her.
Excellent.
While
She is going to casually flirt back. You can also tell. Actually, give me a perception empathy, or actually wits empathy. Wits empathy diff 6.
3 successes.
3 successes. You can tell that there is the professional eye of like, let me look around and take stock of what I can see and what she is allowed to see in here.
Unfortunately, Eileen keeps nothing criminal in her house because she has a spider satchel, which can keep most anything that would be criminalizing in it, and she doesn't let that separate from her.
You can tell that she is going to keep looking and is kind of continually doing this, but is also like not disinterested in the flirting.
She'll make idle conversation, passively flirt, while she also just takes a knife and just cuts open the letter to see what her parents have written to her.
Yeah. So the letter is in not either of your parents' hands. It looks like it was dictated. So it's in rather nice handwriting because your mother's handwriting is abysmal, and
my father's looks like wooden stilts.
Exactly. So this is a nice looking letter. However, the words inside are not so nice. They say essentially, "Dearest daughter, we have learned a little bit about your enterprises and business dealings since leaving finishing school. And would very much like to have a discussion with you about what you are involved in." It doesn't give an inch. Like, there is no conciliation in this letter. It is just very bold-faced, like, come and talk to us now.
She kind of smirks at that.
She's watching you read the letter.
She folds it up, sort of pockets it. I'm assuming there's an address that they want to meet at some point?
Yes.
Is it a public place or is it one of their houses?
No, it's their house in Chelsea, and as you fold the letter up, your dining companion here is at this point sort of watching you.
Do I get a sense of kinfolk off of this individual, or do they seem perfectly mundane?
Wits and primal urge.
It's primal urge difficulty.
Difficulty 6.
That didn't roll right. Hang on.
It did. Oh wait, yeah, it did. You just got 2 1s in there.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So they both canceled out. No successes? No idea.
Hmm.
Can't tell.
Oh. Perfectly entertaining. She'll look over. Did my family happen to hire you to perform any investigations on their behalf?
Yes.
Can't say I'm surprised. You have the look of a woman who's capable.
Thank you. I don't come cheap.
I can imagine. Would you be willing to share what all information they might be operating under?
Interesting. See, but I work for them, not you.
That's fair. Would you like to change that?
You won't pay more than them.
More? Probably not. Have a fun time? More interesting work? I can guarantee. And once you're done with this, I mean, what else are they going to need you for?
Not much, but they'll refer me to their friends.
And you can still have that. I mean, I'm not going to tell you to lie to them or make up anything untoward. I just want to know what they know.
See,
And
but if
after
they
they-
don't get what they want, then
I mean, what they
that
want's a
dries up.
conversation. They're going to get that.
oh, they are.
Oh, they're going to get that conversation. I just want to know what the basis of what they're going in with is.
I want to know where you're going to have this conversation. Where they asked or someplace else.
It depends on what they know.
Oh.
And like I said, they'll be perfectly happy to give you glowing recommendations to get you brand new contacts. But I'll have work for you immediately.
Her eyes narrow. Give me a wits empathy. Diff 7. She's a professional.
It's the eternal question. You may not be cheap, but are you easy?
Ooh.
Oh, that is a botch. I can't tell.
Yeah, botch.
Oh no!
I have no idea what's behind those eyes.
Okay.
I think I
Okay.
kind of like that.
Mm-hmm. So you both are kind of eyeing each other as you have offered a job. She seems mildly intrigued.
But I mean, that of course is up to you.
Of course. They know that you have in your travel since leaving school set up small growing larger criminal enterprises and she lays out all of the cities and towns that you have had dealings with, including, the incident in she doesn't mention the incident, but like that you were in, where a certain Mr. Conan Doyle ran into a werewolf and things happened.
Eileen's going to see if she can activate a gift real quick.
Okay.
Good. She does manage to activate persuasion.
Excellent.
And so she'll ask, you've done some mighty thorough work, and I think all in all, your skills as an investigator are top notch. So I'll ask you the question. What's your opinion of these enterprises that you seem to have dug up?
You flatter a girl. And with persuasion, she is. Let's see. Do you make a roll after that, or was that just
means
activated?
for the rest of the scene, My
Okay.
social roles all have a decreased difficulty of 1, and
Got it.
I have uncommonly strong impact.
Okay,
To the
excellent.
point that it is described as potentially being capable of changing long-held views.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Give me a manipulation and streetwise. Reduced difficulty, so it'd normally be a asking for her opinion on this. A 5 to 5.
Would manipulation specialty of forked tongue apply? I don't think it would, but just checking.
No, not for this. You're
Okay.
not active. You're asking for your opinion. You're not lying.
Yeah, I'm not lying or trying to push anything out.
Yeah.
If 5. 2 successes.
Okay. She flattering. Can't take all the credit. It has been a work. I'm not the first person your parents have hired.
Oh, I'm glad to know that I'm good at covering my trail.
Yes. Not good enough to hide forever.
And to be fair, I think I'm getting tired of playing games about it. It's not worth hiding forever. But tell me, what do you think? Are you interested in a steady line of work, interesting adventures, maybe fun conversations, and an occasional meal?
Yes.
Do I believe that?
Perception and empathy.
Perception or wits?
Well, wits. With this is a conversation. Diff 7.
Success.
A success. Um, she is her interest has been piqued. You haven't hooked her. You've gotten like the hook in the fish. The hook's not set yet.
Yeah, so she'll continue on. See, the work that I do in the underground. Well, I think we can both agree that there will always be criminal activities going on. The work that I do, honestly, is more of a monitoring effect. I like to keep an eye on things that are moving a little too dangerously, things that pose threats, things that might upset the natural order of and the structure of society. Do I make a little bit of profit on the side? Of course I do. I have a certain lifestyle that my parents have accustomed me to that I can't really pull myself entirely away from. But I think your skills as an investigator, my charm, shall we say, and contacts and ability to work my way into places where I typically don't belong. I think the two of us could do a right good job of making the underworld play by nicer rules and keep the common folk from getting too caught up in the troubles of the people who have things to do in the dark.
Hmm. Right. Interesting. exactly how dangerous is that going to be for me as a mortal?
She said the words out loud.
Yeah, she did.
I take that to mean that you're kin. Or
I
are you
think
just someone
so.
who's woken up to the night? Have you seen the big hairy things in the dark and kept your mind?
You're one of them.
Won't deny it. I come from my family. I don't know if they know the full details.
They don't.
That might be part of why I had to leave.
Ah. It's rough.
First change isn't exactly easy to control.
It's my understanding of it.
Since you know a little bit more than most and understand the things that move in the dark, you might understand why I have a vested interest in keeping an eye on the black market.
Yes. You think you're one of the good ones.
Good, evil, that's subjective for most people. For me,
Yeah.
the things I try and keep out of people's hands and the things that I try and keep an eye on are things that thrive on suffering, things that live on the blood and powers of others, things that want to bring the world to premature pain. Do I think I'm a good person in my methods of going about it? I leave that to other people to judge. I'd just rather get the job done. But I definitely think the things I'm trying to get in the way of are much worse than me. And as for how dangerous it would be for you as a kinfolk, I would be happy to take on the brunt of any physical danger. Your skills
That's
as an
very
investigator.
gallant of you.
If you want to get in a shootout, I'm not going to stop you, but I recognize that I can take a bullet better than you can.
All right. Well, this has been lovely. They want you to meet them at this address. I don't get paid fully if you don't show.
Don't worry, I'll show up. You'll get paid. I would hate to deprive a new potential business partner of a good payday.
Wonderful. I'll let you know when I get the check. Just gonna stand up.
It was lovely having a conversation with you.
Likewise. And she is going to stand up and walk out of the house. And that's where we're going to take our break. Stand up, stretch your legs, get some tea,
We'll be back after these commercial messages.
little cucumber sandwiches. I don't know.
We're back.
A dinosaur story. For the second time.
I mean, we're all in the Victorian era, so yes, we are kind of
Dinosaurs. Exactly. It works on so many levels. And geologists are different than paleontologists. I'm an archaeologist. I feel like I need to make this distinction right now. They're not the same thing. It's all rock layers and it is kind of connected, but it's different. Okay? It's different. All right. That's my small soapbox over.
Geology, paleontology, and archaeology are similar but different fields.
Yes, exactly. Network
The
television.
only thing coming to my mind is similar yet legally distinct.
There we go. But we return back as plans have been laid in motion, and Juniper is just having a nice, lovely lunch with some nice news.
Nothing is wrong. Everything is just going well.
Exactly.
Like-
So when exactly are you all going to tell her?
That's an important question. Have I been informed that she is not to be told?
Eileen has not said that she shouldn't be told.
I will 100% say something at some point because I don't know any better.
Okay.
Yeah, like Eileen will probably have laid out that I haven't told Juniper any of this yet, but she's not going to give the implication that it shouldn't be shared with her at some point.
Cool.
So Alexis has stopped by the shop one of these
Yep.
days.
I think he probably stops by fairly regularly.
Just so you don't have the awkward assumption that she already knows everything.
Right.
Like, she definitely doesn't know anything right now, but Eileen's not going to stop anyone from.
I mean, I think it would have been funnier if the awkward assumption had been there. But no, yeah, I feel like Alexis regularly checks on everybody because this is the pack he's associated with. They don't have any other kinfolk that he's aware of.
Yep.
It feels like they would have told him if there was. So his job is to check on everybody and make sure everybody is okay. Because he's seen Guru, they don't do it with each other. Especially not this pack.
Yeah.
So yeah, stop by.
The shelves are getting a little sparse. Probably need to order some new things in. That's a process.
Ask Eileen if she's found anything vaguely occult in the black market.
Right.
To be sold.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Things seem to be going well for you here. How are you doing?
Honestly, pretty good.
Cool.
Just been doing well. There have been some good things happening. So
Nice. Is there anything that you need?
I mean, I need to restock the shelves at some point, but
Right, but like I'm not your your occult trinkets buyer. Like, is there anything that you need beyond that?
I'm sorry.
Is there anything that you
mistake you for Afa?
It's okay.
Sound very similar.
I know. That I've heard that. But is there like how are you doing beyond the shop?
I'm
Is there-
doing fine.
Is there anything that you need to have done? Are you going out doing stuff? Are you actually one thing that you should probably be made aware of? Everybody seems pretty busy with well, we all are with dealing with the Matthias situation.
She just arches an eyebrow. The what now?
You know, he's in town, and I understand he's
I'm
here.
aware.
So there's a situation going on.
Has he approached the pack
N-
or
no,
threatened them?
not that I know of.
Then what is the situation?
They're handling things that need to be handled in regard to him because he's a fucking asshole.
I also want to remind the group, because it hasn't been used in a while, that Alexis doesn't have this, but the rest of you do still have a working totem phone.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Which leads into over totem phone. Shop now.
Was there
There
was there
is-
an implication of a date or time on this letter?
For your parents,
Yeah.
yes, it would be after the geology, the lecture.
Right.
You're doing that. You got that look. You're talking to your pack, aren't you?
You'll just get a
Yeah,
the whimper that dogs do when they get the yelp that dogs do when they get in pain. And then 5 minutes later, Dabble runs into the store. But go on.
Eileen just responds back with all right, be there in a bit.
I mean, I think they're technically your pack too, but you can't totem phone.
Yeah. Sorry.
Why are you
When I say-
apologizing? Like,
Habit.
not your fault. You're not.
No, but it's a habit. You get you get in the
Oh, I
custom of
know.
apologizing to Trueborn for things
As
that
I,
are
the
not
player,
your
give
fault
Holly a look.
at all.
I'm familiar with that. Like, not
but
as a kinfolk, but yeah, that's yeah.
but no, when I say yes, I'm associated with your pack. You are, for all intents and purposes, that. But when I say your pack, you guys are the pack. Like, I'm not bound to it via totem. I'm pretty sure I can't be.
I was about to say, is that are kinfolk just incapable of interacting with the spirit side of things, or
Some of them have
Mm.
limited spiritual power.
Yeah, with rare exceptions, yes.
yeah.
so is like having a gnosis score like a merit that you can take as a kinfolk?
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay.
And I don't
And
believe
it's
you have it.
No, I don't. It is
Yeah.
super duper rare. So yeah, when I say your pack, I'm not trying to exclude myself from it, but there is your pack, and then there is your pack.
No, I understand. I want you to know that we do. I mean, okay, I don't know about the others, but I think of you as one of us.
Thank you. I
Even though
appreciate
I can't
that.
remember your name. I'll get there.
Right, you'll get there. It's fine.
Yeah.
It's Johannes.
Oh, okay, good.
But yeah, apparently I've said too much, so I'm just gonna say, "Hey, Dapple."
Dapple will enter and immediately just look at the ground and walk around to the front.
Dapple.
Juniper.
But one person is studiously not looking in the eye, and one is just sort of staring daggers. That's the vibe I'm getting.
Yep.
Okay.
Why do I instinctively feel like I need to mediate between you two?
We're good.
Okay.
Just waiting for Eileen.
Who eventually strolls in as casual as you like.
So,
I like to think Dapple got there in 5 minutes and 2.5 hours later Eileen
Yep.
walks in.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Just going about the day.
Mhm.
So-
The commerce in the shop dropped up sharply when people would come in and just sort of step into the vibe between and
yeah, she
quickly leave.
yeah,
They would
she
try
has-
to, and I would just be like, "Nope, you don't want to do that."
You can just go and turn over the sign and say the shop is closed. Honestly.
Juniper would have done that. She would
Okay,
have
yeah.
eventually- Shortly after Dapple got there,
Yep.
she would have closed. So Lexi here was telling me about the Matthias. I'm
Oh,
sorry,
you
what
learned
is
his name.
it?
That is not my name. It's Alexis.
Yeah, but
That's the
Lexi's a
thing-
standard
That's
nickname
the
for
thing
it.
that would get Alexis to correct. Would be
Yeah, but Lexi's a pretty common nickname for
He is
Alexis.
going to be doing a different variation. Anyway,
The war over the name
has escalated.
escalates.
Yeah, it just escalated.
Oh no.
Lexi here told me about the Matthias situation.
Hey,
Was I not supposed to do that?
no, it was fine. I wasn't really keeping it a secret. I was just
Oh, it's
working
not
on
supposed
it.
to be a secret. Yeah, we fucked that man up.
What have you done?
Learned everything about his pack. Spread a number of not untrue but still very malicious rumors.
I simply had
Invited his ex to his
yes,
to his lecture.
I invited his ex Amanda to the lecture, and I spread a number of very untasteful rumors and not necessarily lies about him around the city through my connections with normal protesters and through the Black Furies.
So what is your angle with this? And was
Ruin
I
his
ever going to be informed?
ruin his reputation to the point that he can no longer have the influence and the power to abuse other guru and regular mundane mortals and kinfolk.
And kinfolk. There's legitimately a standing order among the kinfolk of the Sept not to be alone with him.
Which anyone who gets that kind of standing order needs to be put in their place.
I'm not surprised.
And since most other folk are too busy dealing with other problems to deal with this, we might as well.
Were you ever going to inform me?
If you asked, but you seemed like you were kind of hesitant on the whole
Oh,
thing.
if I randomly walked up to you one day and said, "Hey, my old alpha, are you planning on screwing around with him anytime? Because that sounds fun."
To be fair, I wasn't being subtle about it, you just weren't paying attention.
I was gestures with arm to store.
The shelves are getting pretty empty. That's impressive. Like
say,
there are
you've
layers
actually-
of dust that
you sold a
were settled
decent-
on things. In
You
here.
sold a decent amount of stock. Do you need me to start, like, getting you some more shit from the black market?
Yeah, actually I do, but don't change the subject.
You're right. You were sorry, I'm gonna speak out of turn now because that's just what I do. I'm sorry. You were being very successful at finding a place to hide.
I'm sorry, was this in character?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. And
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm not anything like that. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you've been hesitant on the whole thing and kind of seemed like you wanted to avoid any contact with the man, so I was content to let you do that. I wasn't going to drag you in
was
unless
I
you
to
wanted to
have
be in.
any say in this at all?
You're welcome to. What say would you like to have?
I don't want it to seem like I was hiding. I just, after years of abuse from him, I just wanted to try to distance myself
And I'm welcome to, and I am willing to let you do that. You don't have to be involved in this.
from him, from everyone. I didn't even want to be in a pack again until Aoife. And I didn't even want to then, but she
And-
didn't really give me a choice.
Ava was not gonna let me put this down. And it's for Ava that I'm gonna keep doing this. Like, this goes beyond just you. And like I said, if you want to distance yourself from him, I'm willing to let you. That's why I didn't immediately drag you into it. I haven't been hiding it, and I was just willing to let you decide to take it at your own pace.
Do whatever you want to him. Just please don't let it be the thing that kills you all.
I've got no plans of that.
No one plans for it.
Several people do actually plan for it.
I'd prefer to die a warrior's death, if I'm being honest.
If it helps, I have no plans to die. And it will definitely be taking steps to avoid it.
But from what I have gathered and what I have learned ever since my first change, there's not much call for that anymore, so.
I mean, there will be plenty of options for a warrior's death, but this fuckhead isn't worth one.
Oh, absolutely not.
No, he's not.
Doesn't mean we can't, separate him a little bit, his arms from his shoulder blades. Mandible from the rest of the skull,
Are you planning on doing anything to him at his speech, talk, whatever?
Mostly fucking up his speech. Like, I'm gonna take an amount of time to learn more about the topic he's trying to study, so I can be an appropriately learned heckler. I've also learned, by the way, if anyone needs any more information, that his degree's bullshit.
Oh, then we can just, if we can get that spread around, then he won't even be able to do the thing.
He started college in Oxford, never finished. Turns out, I know from experience, it's hard for a guru to stay in school.
Do we know anybody who's an expert on beyond you? When eventually, of course, we are. Do we know anybody who might be an expert on this topic to have them attend?
Good question, actually.
Be a little bit, irritated.
I'll check my contacts with the Gru and the Mundanes and see if I can bring in an expert. I'll see if I can bring a heater.
Because that'll be, that will absolutely. Is somebody who is an actual expert on the topic and an acknowledged one is there and publicly pushes back, he will look bad at the very least.
Intelligence academics difficulty 8, because that's like getting real specific on people. Also, for Alexis, in your questioning and sort of poking and prodding, it didn't, he like, along with the Juniper's eviction being like purely bad luck accident type of thing, and the loss of her job, he doesn't seem aware that she's in the city. And
I will spend willpower if I may.
Yes. Actually,
she's taking conscious effort to try and find an expert.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I'll let you do it. You also don't have any examples of like, people don't leave his pack. Like, Juniper is the first person you have heard of like someone who left, and what like people didn't do. Like, all of the like young impressionable don't have a lot of ways to push back people that he gets like sucked into his pack and their sphere of influence. They don't leave. You are not able to find a good expert, unfortunately.
It's 2 successes, to be fair.
Yeah.
Willpower in there.
You needed 3.
So I will relay that then.
Yep.
He doesn't know that you're here.
Well, my academic specialty is in social history, if that might help me know where to look for an expert.
Geologist. Totally different field. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, it's like as in knowing of where to look for that kind of expert.
Mm-hmm.
Because my field is on social dynamics and interactions with people, and finding the right person is part of that field.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that specialty would apply.
It would not.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
So yeah, Eileen will eventually feedback that I don't know anyone. If anyone else thinks they might, it might be worth checking. But I'm also just going to see if I can study up on this field and learn a bit.
Cool.
I don't
Well,
need to be an expert to learn specific, because he's sort of published some of the details of what the topic he's going to be covering broadly are. I just need to study that one particular field and topic very, very specifically to learn what his holes are.
Huh?
You all expect me to be there at his
I do not.
speech?
Absolutely not.
You are welcome to come if you like, but I am not expecting you to be there. You've expressed a desire to distance yourself.
Okay.
Also, Alexis, like you have learned a little bit about your new pack, for lack of a better term, over the past couple of weeks. Juniper's tribe, the Stargazers. There are not a lot of them.
Right.
This is a port town, though. Trade coming in and out. And there is a cluster. There's 3 stargazers currently in the city, waiting for a ship to go to the Americas.
Might be worth you. I don't know if this is something that you would want to know or be interested in, but I know stargazers are not common around these parts. There's a few here in the city right now. If you want to chat with some of your own.
Maybe, but I feel like I might just be a disappointment to them.
I mean, I don't know a lot about stargazers really, but every time I hear about them, all I hear is about wisdom, this, that, and the other. So
yeah, in my experience, and I've only met a handful. This is fair. In my experience, stargazers have 2 modes: either they're disappointed in everyone, or they're disappointed in no one.
And if they're disappointed in you, then far be it from me to speak ill of any tribe. But I'm not speaking ill of the tribe. I'm speaking ill of the people that I don't know. They're idiots.
Like there are 2 modes of stargazer that I've encountered. There are those who think everyone in the world is a miracle and is their own form of brightness, and I like those kinds. And there's the kinds that think everyone in the world is flawed and failure and unable to perform their task, and I kind of think those ones have their own heads at their ass.
Like, Juniper's the only one.
But yeah, I'm just giving you the information. They are here.
What's Juniper mulling over right now?
Everything. There's information. There's stargazers. They're screwing with her alpha.
Mhm.
Excuse me, as we just dumped a bomb of information
Yeah.
in your
Yeah.
in your lap.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's kind of unsure about everything right now.
Yeah. In a couple of days, the talk.
It's in a couple of days? Or
Yes.
okay.
2 days.
Well, what do you all need from me? Beyond involving or not involving Operation Fuck Matthias, which, by the way, I will not be fucking Elias if that's part of the mission. Somebody else, we can get somebody else to do that.
Oh, I don't think anyone should ever have to lay in bed with that man.
Good. I'm not saying that I 100% wouldn't if it could get good information, but we would have to talk about that.
Listen, if there weren't 100 hurdles about it, I'd just go rip him to shreds myself. But
That's why the Silver Fangs put so many hurdles in place, so fewer people will just rip them to shreds. Because, let's be honest, the Get, who are some of their best supporters, want to rip them to shreds on most days.
Yeah, pretty much. But yeah, what do you guys need from me, if anything? In general, again.
I think maybe make sure that any kinfolk attending the
Talk.
any kinfolk attending the talk are prepared for the possibility, knowing the rumors that are going around, that it might not go to plan for him, and to be ready to scoot if a werewolf gets angry.
I will disseminate that information at the time that it starts to go bad, because I don't know which ones might be loyal to him willingly or otherwise.
Fair. Just be aware that, getting kinfolk safely away from an angry werewolf might be worthwhile.
Yes. Generally, we kinfolk do want to get away from the werewolves when they get frenzy-ish.
The lecture hall sits 50 people as far as audience members, and it is now sold out because there's gossip attached to this, so it has drawn a different sort of crowd.
I will at least check and see who, if anybody, since it is now a hot topic and it is not abnormal to discuss it. Like, it would be weird to just bring that up out of the blue.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's not so much because it's being talked about. I will try to get a census of like who's coming among Sept and Sept associated.
Yeah, well, we know there's at least one of relevance.
Yep.
Matthias?
No, his ex.
Yes. True. We should probably position somebody relatively near her in case he does lose it.
Yeah.
So I will tell you, I'm gonna keep rolling with that beautiful 9 successes. She is a Silver Fang kinfolk, and she's from a different faction from the ones in this city.
Okay.
That doesn't get along with their relatives super much. there very likely is going to be a delegation from the official Silverfang Sept in the city
Right.
attending, because there has been enough like attention stirred up around this thing, and they are aware that he is a guru.
There will
There's
probably be some silver fangs around her to keep her safe, but since we're the only ones who really know how bad.
No, the
this gets
Silverfangs aren't there to keep her safe. There's going to be shadow loads around her to keep her in line.
Oh yeah, fair. Yeah. There's going to be shadow lords around to try and keep an eye on her.
There's going to be Silverfangs in attendance to keep an eye on him, and there's probably going to be Fianna just to be there to eat popcorn.
Yeah,
Right.
to eat popcorn and heckle.
And so throw a wrench in things, and then who knows how many others. But those are the major players will be there.
Do we want the Shadow Lords to be able to keep her in line?
Not particularly. I think if she wants to speak
I'd
her
prefer
mind,
it if she made a scene, if I'm being completely honest.
Okay.
But I think if anyone of us would be best suited to protection detail, actual protection, knowing that things might go south, myself or Wolfric would probably be ideal.
Yeah, I can get people out, but generally my defense, if Trueborn go full rage, is guns, and I try not to use those on members of Seps that I've just arrived at.
Fair.
It would cause a little bit of a stir.
Yeah, they tend to look askance at that, no matter how justified.
You'd lose a lot of hard-earned goodwill very quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say if things get hairy, focus on getting kinfolk to safety.
Yes, I will.
And I'll talk with Wolfric and see which one of us prefers to be on bodyguard duty for the X.
Okay.
Please
All
tell
right.
me I'm allowed to have fun. Please tell me.
You get to talk all the shit you want.
Yeah.
I suppose that could work.
Don't start the fight, but feel free to poke his buttons until he decides to start a fight.
And then, like every other lady, I'm allowed to finish it.
Exactly.
Correct.
You have the right to defend yourself.
Just remember, if he frenzies, you suffer too if you break the veil. Because y'all have the ability to nope out to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
It's harder for you now without. I mean, you still have the mirror shades.
Yeah.
But
I just mean Trueborn Guru in general.
oh yeah.
Have the ability to do that.
Mhm.
So
fortunately, everyone who will be in attendance will be in a form in which they'll be able to handle a guru's claws better than normal. Because none of us are going to be in our breed forms in that particular environment.
other than me.
Those of us that have other forms to be in.
Yes, correct. All right.
And with these little plans in place, the pack scatters to the streets again. Juniper.
I do want to stay behind really quick after everybody leaves. So again, is there anything that you need, especially with new frustrating information having dropped?
I'm good.
All right.
You know, you can like make your own choices. You don't have to always like cater to everybody else.
I know that. I am very well aware of that. But also, this is my role. This is my role. This is what we do in our society. And B, if I didn't want to do this, I literally could have, instead of going across the ocean, I could have just gone west and lost myself somewhere in the wild over in North America. This is I do this not just because I have to, although I do have to. I do it because I want to. Because I've seen what I'll just put it this way. I was raised right. But thank you. I appreciate that.
And thank you for telling me,
Mhm.
even though you weren't fully aware.
Yeah, I'm kind of glad that she didn't tell me one way or the other, because that just meant I would have had to try and not come around, because again, I am really bad at lying about things.
Good to know.
Like, I'm super bad. I have the worst somebody told me once that I had the worst poker face they've ever seen.
And we should play poker sometime.
No, absolutely not.
I feel like Eileen would take all my money.
She probably would. She would take everybody's money, which is really redundant, because like most of I've got some of my own, but it feels like all of our money just comes from her, so she would be taking her money
Back, I guess.
like, yeah. Anyways,
This is why
If you-
This is why Eileen doesn't gamble unless it's just for fun, because the only money she'd be winning is her money anyway.
yep. If you need anything, actually, I don't even know. No, I think that Alexis would have told her at some point where he and Dapple are now in the city.
Mhm.
Yeah. And
So
he has her address as well.
yeah, if you need anything, oh yeah, I'm 90% sure he has just stopped by her place at some point if she
Mhm.
wasn't here.
Yeah.
If you need anything, you know where I am,
Uh,
or you can just do your with everybody else. I'm probably with one of them.
all right.
And I will head. Oh,
See you later, Lex. As he's walking out the door.
you too, Junie.
See, she's fine with that. No one touches
It'll
her
get worse.
before.
It'll get worse.
Uh,
The nickname just becomes Per.
oh
Oh
boy.
no. I pulled up a list of 200
Amazing.
names for Alexis. And some of them are really weird. We can get there.
So on board with this.
Here we go.
Yeah, there are only so many. There are only so many iterations of a 3-syllable
Yeah.
word name without any like complexity to the like the GHs or PHs or shit like that.
My favorite so far is lexicon, but
Oh no.
I will keep going.
Beautiful. Excellent. Wonderful.
But yeah, that's all I had for that post thing.
And Juniper, you have in a drawer a ticket for a certain event.
Yes, I do.
So, unless anyone has any last minute things they need to do, We're gonna pick up on a warm, early summer, late spring evening. Gas lamps are lit on the halls of a little library that is hosting a small event, which has gotten vastly more popular than they expected. It's pretty crowded. There's a lot of people milling around. I feel like you all have been playing this for a little while, so you've gotten tickets for, the group.
Yeah, we got tickets way ahead. We got tickets before we started spreading rumors about it.
I assume the pack was planning on attending, minus Juniper. I figured.
There was a ticket set aside for Juniper in case she wanted to come, but she was not guaranteed.
We'll figure out exactly where people are situated next week when we will hopefully have Ulrich to decide where he's going.
Eileen has spent the past couple of weeks doing Hindenburg research, which is to say research specifically designed to tank this particular study.
Excellent. Give me a intelligence academics roll. Diff 6. You got access to books. This library is hosting this guy's lecture. You can just go and research at their library. Honestly, you've got a membership.
Yeah. Success.
All right. You find you're getting the gist of things. Any sort of rock puns you want to make are fair game. It's not going to be really enough to knock him off of that. You don't know enough of the intricacies to disassemble his arguments or figure out where the logical errors are. But you got enough in there to be annoying.
Yeah.
What are people wearing to this event? Are we going in with just normal clothes, or are we decked out in anything in particular? This is a little bit of a society event. You go, It's like going to not quite the opera, but going to the theater. This is
Eileen is definitely in crime lord fashion, which is to say, a fancier, more well-tailored coat. Her bodice has been exchanged for the feminine frills and button up. And she's definitely wearing well-tailored pants. Hair is styled and pulled back since it's not appropriate to wear a hat to this kind of event.
Oh, you can wear a hat. As a lady, hats are fine. Gentlemen have to take their hats off indoors.
Yeah, but she's following that fashion because her type of hat is a Docker's cap.
Okay, that's fair. Alexis and Dapple. This is my favorite thing as a GM. It's what are people wearing? Oh. But it could just be clothes.
She definitely has the fancier, she normally has the full arm gloves.
Mm-hmm.
She's pared that down to white noble's gloves.
Mm-hmm.
The kind that you wear to a fancy event where you're expected to not have to use your hands for anything.
Yep.
She knows they're gonna get torn to shreds if she has to transform, but whatever.
Alexis.
I think that Alexis is going to he doesn't have a ton of outfits, but he is going to pick something that is a higher end remnant of what he has is 1880s New York City fashion.
Mm-hmm.
I assume he had to go to something at some point that was sort of a more dressed up occasion. He's got something like that.
Okay.
Suit. Yeah.
Excellent.
Wolfric has one outfit. So it's probably that one outfit.
Probably. Dapple? Anything in particular?
Dapple has allowed she probably went to one of the female members of the Black Fury Sept and allowed them to dress her nicely for this. She complained the entire time, and bit the woman who tried to pin her hair back.
Oh. There was
And
some swearing
so-
back at you.
Yeah. But Dapple is very prim and proper and a nice, just not a probably a very simple blue dress. A little bit of corseting, not terrible. Still allowing her to move, and respectable shoes that can be slipped on and off easily.
Yeah. You've got blue stockings on. For some reason, this made everyone laugh uproariously. You're not quite sure. You don't quite get this. This is a joke that's flying over Dapple's head. But
Yep.
And then we see, well, Juniper, are you attending?
Oh, yes.
Slipping in with a ticket? What's Juniper doing? What's the vibe?
So, quick question,
Yeah.
because she was a member of his pack. She was with him for a bit, like I'm thinking a few years probably.
Mm-hmm.
She knows the style in which he dresses, yes?
Yes.
Okay. What style would that be?
It's very it's very like fancy and and fancy but not attention grabbing. He prefers to like use his voice and his just presence to do that, not so much his clothes. He does like he's very proud of that mustache. Like that is his pride and joy. He spends inordinate amount of times. There are small combs dedicated to this task. And he always gets the latest fashion in hats as well. That was those are like the two things that he like pays. He pays very particular attention to his clothes, but those are the things that are most like flashy, noticeable. He wants you to pay attention to his face because he thinks he's pretty handsome.
Is he?
Let me look at his. What did I give him as far as appearance? No, I gave him a 1. No,
He is not handsome.
no, he's mid at best.
Then Juniper is going to be wearing similar colors, I think, to what he would normally wear. Similar style.
Yep.
Unlike what she usually does with her arm that isn't there, which is she usually just lets the sleeve like lay flat.
Mm-hmm.
She will have had the coat that she is wearing, the sleeve completely removed to draw even more attention to it. She will be wearing a hat in latest fashion, similar style. Her hair pulled back high in a series of braids, and her face fully visible under the hat.
Okay. Where are you sitting? Where's
front row, if able?
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. You have been planning this for a little while and you were able to get a front row ticket before it filled up. So there's some head turns as you come in. Because people started gathering and finding their seats fairly early for this. And so you have to walk by a few people to do this. And heads turn and look at you. There are indeed several Silverfang elders in attendance toward the back row. They look kind of grumpy about this. They didn't plan ahead. the you see that ex-fiance kind of in the middle, slightly off center, with an entourage, it looks like, around her. She looks very agitated, like she's quite twitchy. In the seats around you, there is chatter and excitement. There's more than a few mentions of the rumors that have been spread. Various interesting little things. There do seem to be quite a few humans in attendance as well. These are not all Guru or kinfolk. And as the lights in the audience part of the hall kind of dim, and then brighten again and then dim in an indication that, hey, things are settling down. It's about to start. A curtain pulls back. And that is where we're going to end for the evening. Say goodbye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.